Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Leanne and I created this channel to document my journey into vintage reselling. I have been reselling since February this year, 2026, and it all came about because my partner Adam and I have been really enjoying going to antique shops, vintage markets, charity shops and unearthing loads of treasures. We found that we then ran out of space for the treasures and needed to do something with it. So back in February, I started a small vintage store just to kind of get rid of some of the stuff that we decided that we no longer wanted. And then I really got the bug for it. And it's actually been really useful as a way of kind of allowing us to go ahead doing that rummaging, that treasure hunting, and then making a little bit of money back. So cut to now, April 2026, and I have truly got the bug for vintage reselling. I have always been into interior design, home decor, a little bit of DIY. I have the enthusiasm, but not necessarily the skill, but definitely making spaces feel beautiful and special. And so doing this has really sparked that creative side of me again. So I guess now I just really want to up my game a little bit. Vinted has been great and it's taught me an awful lot. So what sells, what doesn't sell, how to package things safely, how to post things, how to deal with customers. I've learned a lot, but I do think Vinted as a platform does have its limitations. Firstly, in terms of it's UK only, I would like to be able to expand my customer base further afield. And secondly, on the sorts of things that you can sell there, I do want to say you wouldn't sell a Van Gogh at a car boot sale, which does sound really extreme, but Vinted is definitely the platform for bargain hunters, and it's a great platform for bargain hunters. But when I am looking to source more special pieces, more unique pieces, things with a bit more provenance, with a bit more style, with a bit more design, I think these things deserve a buyer that will appreciate them for what they are. And that's not to say I'm going to be selling lots of expensive things. I just think that diversifying my platform is going to help me find the right buyer for all of the different pieces I'm going to be sourcing. So today marks the first day, I guess, of starting my Etsy shop, which is super exciting. So I thought what I'd do in this first video is go through a haul of some shopping I did at the weekend. I really wish I'd filmed this shopping trip, but I actually went to a place that doesn't usually do very well for me. My God, was I wrong this time, because I ended up with, I think, 28 things in total, which is amazing, an incredible haul. I won't go through every single piece. I'm just going to go through the best ones, in my opinion, and these will all be available on my Etsy shop by the time this video goes live. So if you are interested in any of those pieces, have a look down below. I will pop the name of my Etsy shop on the screen, and there will be a link in the description box below as well. So without further ado, should we have a look at what I bought? So the first piece I picked up is not actually vintage, and I haven't decided whether I'm going to sell it yet, so that might not be the best start, but you'll see why I picked it up now. Obviously my shop is called Two Bears Vintage. And how adorable is this? I saw this at a car boot sale, saw the two bears with their little picnic baskets, and just thought, well, I had to have it. I knew that this top was pewter as well. I'm not entirely sure what the wood is, and I just thought it was adorable. This cost me £2. I got it home and did a little bit more research, and it's by Royal Selangor or Selangor. I'm not entirely sure, probably Selangor. And it is a document holder or a birth certificate holder for a baby. When I bought it, it had lots of pencils in it, which I got rid of. But I just think this is beautiful. Just sort of wooden inside. So yeah, I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to sell this one. I've seen a couple of comps online. Prices are really varied. This isn't technically vintage. This was apparently featured in Royal Selangor's 2014 catalogue, so it could have been produced, you know, as late as then. I'm not sure how early the design goes. But online, it's going from anything between sort of 40 to 80 pounds, or I think there's one listing in the States for $102 or something like that. So yeah, I thought this was adorable. I'm just going to give you a little close up of the bears there as well. Very, very sweet. And it goes with the shop name. So keep your eyes peeled. I haven't decided if I'm going to sell this or not yet, but if you are interested, just drop me a comment or a DM and I will make it available for you if I can let it go. So one thing to say about this haul is there was a lot of ceramics. I really love studio pottery. So that's not really surprising to me. I think it's incredible. I've tried pottery classes myself. I'm terrible at it. So I really admire people who can do it and make lovely things. So we'll do a bit of a pottery haul first and then I'll go on to the other things. So first off, let's go with, this is one of my favourite pieces and it's super eye-catching. At first I thought it was a stack of plates, but it's actually just one bowl that has been stuck together with some clay slip. It's handmade, obviously, studio and glazed in a sort of matte finish. I got home and did some research on this stamp. It's not super clear there, but it says XONO, which is a Greek stamp, and I managed to trace it back to a maker in Santorini. So made in Santorini. There's not much about the pottery or the maker online, but I just do think it's a really beautiful piece. It would make a lovely like candle dish if you can imagine sort of a pillar candle in there, or just a catch-all for jewellery or like rings. I don't know about keys. I'd be worried that the keys would chip the pot. But yeah, just a lovely piece. And this was from a lady selling, she's a ex-reseller, and she was getting rid of some dead stock. So this was £2 at a car boot sale. So from that same lady at the car boot sale, I also bought this lovely little pot with a lid. I think it's a sugar bowl or something like that. It says the little hole there for the spoon. But I just really love the really simple glaze and the detail on the lid there. That was really lovely. On the bottom it says Philip Gardner Mevagissey. Oh, you're challenging my UK geography now. Mevagissey, Cornwall. My geography teacher's going to be so upset with me. Unsure, but yeah, I just thought it was a really pretty, simple piece that would work lovely on a nightstand or a dresser for jewellery, or as its intended use as a sugar bowl. And this cost me £2. And the last thing we bought from her was this little stoneware cup, which I guess is sort of an espresso size. This was also £2. And on the bottom it says Old Forge Pottery, Rowlands Castle. So yeah, there it is. Really, it gives me kind of 70s vibes. I think it's the brown, but yeah, just lovely to have your little morning espresso out of that one. Very, very pretty. So the next piece is actually a piece that's not going to be in the shop because my sister has bagsied it, and that was this little ashtray, I think it was originally. She doesn't smoke. I assume she's going to be using it as a trinket dish. She's currently decorating her office / spare room and really loves stags. So I did pick this up with her in mind, thinking I'll sell it if she doesn't like it, but it turns out she did like it. What I love, it's by Wade Pottery, County Omagh, Irish porcelain. So this is another piece that I'm afraid isn't going to be on the shop because my sister bagsied it first, and that is this little dish. I believe it was originally an ashtray. She doesn't smoke, so I'm assuming she's going to be using it as some sort of trinket dish. She is currently redecorating her office / spare room, and has a thing for stags and sort of moody decor. So these lovely sort of khaki brown colours were really fitting for that. The back is really interesting because it's such like an interesting contrast. Oh, it looks like a pie that way around, from the sort of greeny brown on the front and then the quite clean blue on the back. And it is by Wade Pottery, made in County Armagh, so Irish porcelain. And as we know, Wade Pottery is very well regarded. So lucky Nikki, this one is going to her, I'm afraid. Okay, back to things that are going in the shop. And this was another car boot find, and it's these lovely little bowls, one for olives and one for stones. Stunning. I really liked the glaze on this. So inside you've kind of got this lovely, almost muddy, greeny teal, and then the kind of sort of pinky brown on the outside. I really like the contrast there. I also like that it's sort of red pottery as well. I'm going to assume it's terracotta, although terracotta is normally a bit orangey. We'll call it earthenware anyway. But yeah, I just thought that was lovely. We're coming up to summer now, lots of summer entertaining. Imagine this one on a nice barbecue table or a tapas evening or something like that. Really, really useful thing to have. So the next thing I bought was in a charity furniture store in Newbury, and this was locked away in a glass case for some reason. Not entirely sure why, possibly so it doesn't get knocked over and broken. But that is this jug. And again, I just really love, it's got a really good weight to it. It's got this lovely sort of orangey red, kind of burnt coloured glaze. It shows up a lot more orangey brown on the camera, but it's actually quite sort of ready. If I can I put it up there, sort of, if you see the colour there that is coming out, sort of like a really warm red, that's the colour kind of all over really. And the glaze is quite patchy. I just really love the effect of that. So going from the natural clay up the top to gradually more and more glaze, getting sort of shiny on the way down. You can see the £4 sticker on here. I actually paid £2 because it was half price on bric-a-brac that day. So that went really well. There's no maker, no mark on it, but I just thought it was a really good solid piece, fab for just popping on a shelf, maybe some flowers, a couple of stems in there, or you could use it as a picture as well, as a nice sort of rustic kitchen piece. So yeah, really lovely piece. And the last piece of pottery I want to show you, I'm not really careful here, is this. Isn't it fabulous? And this caught my eye from across the charity shop for obvious reasons. Look at it. It is a candelabra, or I keep hiding my face here. It's a candelabra or a candle holder, and it is Spanish. It is by Talavera. And I just think it's stunning. Again, it's got that Mediterranean holiday vibe. I just think it would look lovely in a sort of Mediterranean style kitchen. And of course it's got the blue and yellow, which is really, popular kitchen colours. It is, yes, it is handmade, I believe. Definitely hand painted. If I sort of give you a close up of all the decoration there, I think it is absolutely gorgeous. And I really love this piece. In the middle, I really love this piece in the middle as well. Just the detail on that, the really lovely sort of hand painted blue and yellow baubles. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous. 3 arms for candles, probably your sort of dinner candles, taper candles. Yeah, gorgeous. This cost me £5. Just when I thought I was done with the ceramics, I looked down in the box by my feet with all my stock in it, and I realised there's an awful lot more ceramics. So ceramics isn't your thing, I'm very sorry, bear with me. We've got a handful more things to go, but I promise they're goodies. So first off is this one. It's a Florentine plate, and Adam picked this one up. He chose this, and we bought it in, how to describe this shop? It's kind of, like your local tips, where you just take all your rubbish. In our area, or in South Gloucestershire, if you have stuff that's still usable, you can drop it off at the gate, or at the sort of the hutch where the guys work, and they'll keep it aside, and then all of those things are shipped to the shop in Thornbury, and they sell them. Which I think is a really great idea. It's saving so much stuff from landfill. Literally, you take it to the tip and they literally swoop it out from your hands and sell it on for really, really good prices. So yeah, Adam chose this Florentine plate with your pineapple and your strawberries, lovely gold gilt detailing around the side there. Just because of its age, some of the gilt is wearing, which I think is pretty normal for vintage stuff. And the back says handmade in Italy, Florentine. So very nice, and that was £2. And then I've got two more of Adam's choices. These came from a charity shop in Thornbury, and that's this pair of creamers, I would say. And these are from Lord Nelson Pottery. I really love these, the sort of burnt umber, mustardy brown glaze with the coppery gilt on the top. Really, really nice. And you've also obviously got the two sizes, which would look lovely in like a sort of rustic kitchen shelf setup. You know, imagine your recipe books propped up alongside. Really nice. There is some crazing to the glaze, which again, I don't think it's the end of the world for me. I think it adds to the character and it just shows the age of the piece. Some people not up for that, which is absolutely fine as well, but I really love that sort of crackled look in the glaze. And these, I believe, cost us £3.50 for the pair, something like that. Adam picked one up and came to show me, and the lady at the charity shop sort of chased him across the shop with the other one going, they're a pair, the price is for the pair. So we ended up buying them as a pair, so she was pleased with that. Okay, next. Possibly my favourite piece, and it's another one that's not going on Etsy, but that's because it's going on eBay. This was another charity shop find, and I found it on sort of just a little table, and it was kind of set up with bits and pieces. And this charity shop was in Newbury, which is where Adam lives, and he said he'd been in there the weekend before and saw this and didn't really think anything of it. I saw it, and because I'm a pottery fiend, I was like, that's really cute. Really like the sort of the metallic detail on there, the bamboo handle, the mixed materials, beautiful. And as I usually do, did a cheeky little Google lens on it, and yeah, pick that one up. I'm not going to be charging £450 for this. I don't think I possibly can. That's a gallery price anyway. I'm not reaching those dizzy heights, but this is on eBay now. It's a John Maltby. There's the signature there. So it's a John Maltby basket. Really collectible piece. There are a lot of Maltby lovers in the UK, possibly abroad as well. And yeah, just really stunning. I gave the handle a bit of a wax because it was looking a bit dry, but other than that, I've done nothing to it. So yeah, if you're interested, this one is already up on eBay, and this cost us £3. Absolute bargain. I think red's kind of the theme today. What with my jumper, the jug, and now these two as well. So I'll talk about this one first. This one really appealed to my little witchy vibes. It just looks like a cauldron with the little handle there and the little lugs and the 3 feet. I just thought it was really sweet. I really love the sort of the glaze as well, that drippy, lavary type glaze. I just thought it worked really nicely as a sort of a mini planter, or possibly a candle. Could you put a candle in there? Maybe you could. Or you could put your herbs in there. You could use it as a cauldron. I wouldn't put any heat on it, but if you want to bundle some herbs and crystals and stuff together, put it in here. Lovely. This was, where did we get this one from? I believe this was a charity shop find, and I know that this one was £2.50. Almost there, I promise, with the ceramic. This was actually from Vinted, and again, I saw the form. I love the handle with the little flick at the bottom there, and I love the drippy glaze too. I think that's really lovely. The bright red as well. Oh, it's like the same colour as my jumper actually. You can tell I love this colour. I'm a firm believer in sort of pops of vibrant colours, whether it's a pop of red or a pop of something else. So this just really caught my eye. It is by Elwill, who are Canadian pottery. And yeah, I just thought this was really lovely. And it was around £8 for the vase and the delivery. But I also bought something for myself on that order as well. So a little bit less on the delivery. Actually, the vase itself was up for £2, something like that. And yeah, I bought a bag for myself as well. So the delivery was bundled up. And now the last piece of pottery, I promise, and that is this little West German jug or creamer. Adam picked this one up again as well, I think. And the bottom is marked West Germany 909190, which I'm assuming is the registration number for the shape. Really love the shape on this, that handle that sort of points up and then straight down again, that sort of whoop for the spout. But it's the glaze for me. It's you know, lovely, dark, almost juicy, iridescent. And you've got sort of the mint green, the white and the lemon yellow with these little sort of orange flecks. I think that's really unique. And this would just look lovely on a bookshelf or a windowsill. You could possibly put matches or something in there if you want to turn it into a useful object, but I think it's just absolutely stunning on its own. I'm so sorry. I found another ceramic, or two ceramics, but they're a pair, so please forgive me. Oh, sorry, I just grabbed them by the face. And that's this little pair of ceramic cats. Aren't they sweet? This was from a house clearance store that we love going to in Newbury. You got your big cat here, and then your smaller one. Very similar designs. I think they've been sort of transferred and hand painted, so a mix of the two. And they're sort of in that chinoiserie style, but I doubt they're authentic chinoiserie, to be honest. But for any cat lovers or any kind of eclectic decor people that just love cute things, I think these are absolutely adorable. And these were £3 each, so £6 for the pair. Okay, next up I've got some art from the same house clearance store that I got the cats in, and here it is. It's just this lovely moody, I imagine it's a rainy, just because of the colours and the reflections there. I think of it as a rainy scene in this sort of gunmetal frame. It reminds me of London. I don't know why. It just does, and I like it. It's by N.W. Yatt Jr. I've not heard of them. It is a print, it's not an original, but I just really love the colours and the moodiness, and I also really like the frame. There's some wearing to the frame, but I think it's actually worn in a way that it kind of adds to the frame. I wouldn't normally buy frames that have got damage or chips or flaky paint or anything like that on there, but I just think this, with the way that it is sort of flaking away and it's sort of speckled and freckled with these black bits, it kind of goes with the art. So I thought I'd pick it up, and I'm keeping it in the frame as well. This one has been on Vinted for a couple of days and it's had a couple of likes on it already, so I do think this one should probably go fairly quickly, she says. I don't know. So yeah, it's on Vinted already, and I'm going to be adding it to Etsy later today. It will be on Etsy by the time this video goes out. So the next handful, 4 finds have actually been inspired by another reseller. I'm an avid watcher of Angela's Vintage Shop and All Put Together by Auntie Jenkins. Those two ladies are who inspired me to start my own vintage reselling business. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I've always been into home decor and making places feel beautiful and lived in and comfortable and a little bit eclectic. And it was just stumbling across, I think I stumbled across Angela first, and she introduced me to Andy's channel. She didn't introduce me, I've never met either of them. I just think they're wonderful. And yeah, and they sort of really showed me how it can be possible to do this as a business. So thank you to both of them. I don't think they'll ever watch these videos, but thank you so much. So anyway, these are inspired by Andy, All Put Together, because I've seen her pick these up and sell them on her own Etsy shop and in her booth. So I thought, why not give it a go myself? So the first is one of these. It's a sort of mid-century style glasses holder in the shape of a sort of really sort of stylized face. You've got the nose there, that's the hook for the glasses, and it's, you know, sort of self-standing, quite a sturdy little piece. I love the colour of the wood. It's sort of kind of deep and warm, and I love the wear in it as well. It just looks like it's already had a bit of a life. I just think this would look fab on a desk for your reading glasses, or even by the door with your sunglasses on. Yeah, I just think it's a really useful piece, and this was £2. And then the last ones, again inspired by Andy. Can I pick them all up at once? Maybe. Yes, I can. Kikeshi dolls, hi. I'd never heard of Kikeshi dolls until I watched Andy's videos. So I saw these at the car boot sale and I thought, well, do you know what? I don't know if there's much of a market for them in the UK, but they were £1.50 each. So I thought I'll give them a go. And you know, if I don't sell them, I think they're adorable. So I'll just keep them myself. No shame here. Let's just show you them individually. This is probably the shabbiest of the three. Bless her, she has lived a life. Look at her. Her hair's kind of a bit faded. Her paint's sort of chipping away there on her kimono. I still think she's really cute. She's got a few little scratches on the back there as well. But I'm just hoping somebody will love her. I'm not expecting her to make millions love her, but I just think, you know, someone might take a little shine to her and give her a nice new home. The next one is this smaller doll. I love her little pigtails and the pink sort of blossom kimono. She does have a sticker on the bottom and it is Haroyokoi. I'm so sorry, Japan. Pink springtime. So that's the name of the pattern anyway. I just think she's adorable. Look at her little face. Very, very sweet. And then the last one, it has the same sticker on the bottom. This one's much easier to say. It's called Ribbon. And again, also by Art Forum. And I think she's lovely as well. I love her little bow on the top there. I did Google Lens these. This came out with the most results and is actually still for sale on Amazon for £58. So a modern Kikeshi, not vintage, but that's okay. But yeah, £58. I'm not going to be charging that much because obviously she is used and she does have a few little bit of fluff on her there. She's got a couple of little bit of chippies there, but I just think she's really cute. And yeah, like I said, never heard of Kikeshi dolls before, but they are really, really sweet. And I'm not going to start a collection. I promise you. I promise myself. I promise everybody. Probably. Okay, so that's about it from me. That wasn't the full haul. I've been going for quite a while, so I just wanted to show you the best bits, I think, from this weekend's haul. Like I said, I'm going to be uploading them all to Etsy this week, but by the time this video goes out, everything should be live in the Etsy shop link below. If you are in the UK and you do use Vinted, some of these items will be in the Vinted shop as well. We are the Two Bears on Vinted. I'll put that below as well. So feel free to go and have a look there too. Anyway, thanks for sticking with me on my first video. If you are still here, I really appreciate you. Do think about giving me a like or subscribing if you want to see how I get on with my Etsy journey. Let me know if you're also a reseller just starting out, or if you're an experienced reseller, and if you've got any tips. I'd really love to hear from you. And yeah, until next time, take care. Bye.